Every month, at the start of the month, or just before it begins, I always do a monthly budget. I look at the amount of money coming in the next 4 or 5 weeks, and I also look at what's going to have to go out. I mean, obviously, there's always standard things that need paying for, but as we know, there's always extra bits that kind of creep up. I've been doing this now for about a decade, not always every month, but I tell you, at times when I've got no money, or times when I've got loads of money, it's incredibly useful. It gives me peace, so I know where I'm at. It gives me a plan if I know there's a big gap between what's going in and between what's going in and out. But also, it has completely helped support my creativity. So, hello, my name is Marisha Trembetska for my Love Your Creativity and Make Money podcast. And over the last while, I've been doing lots of podcasts about motivation and mental health and the making of the work. But for me, a really important also part of making the work is how we finance the work. And when I talk about the work, that could be whether you're trying to write and publish or get a publisher for a novel, a film, a script, an album, a series of artwork, photographs. Creativity is so important. We're also mad about our own pursuits. You know, some of us are amazing artists. I cannot draw to save my life. It's just embarrassing. Not that it stops me sometimes. But whatever your creativity is, we have to find a way of making it pay, whether it's just as a hobby or as a full-time basis. Now, I've been a hobbyist as a creative, I've been a full-time creative, and I've done the thing where we straddle both sides. But the one thing that I do that always grounds me is this week's quick chat about budget. So what I do is literally in the very first, like maybe on the 31st of the month, or the 3rd or the 4th of the month, I get restless if I haven't done it. So I did it last night, actually. I literally have budget sheets. Now, I could do it on Excel. I can do it. I run loads of accounting software. I'm really good at that stuff as well. But honestly, when it comes to this, I like plain old-fashioned pen and paper. I have templates and I write it down so I can scribble over it. I just like it that way. And I look at all the money that's coming in. Now, if you think about the money that's coming in, it's not like I have a proper job. I've been self-employed for years now. And understanding what's coming in, because sometimes, you'll do some work and you won't get paid for 2 months or longer. I mean, you know how it goes. When you do shows and things, equally, it could take months for that money to come in. I also then look at what's got to be paid that month. There's always standards, direct debits for things like, if you've got rent or mortgage, if you've got insurance, utility bills, phone bills, all that kind of standard stuff. But also, and this is the bit where it really supports my creativity, I'm always looking forward about what shows are coming up. So when I've looked at what's coming in and then I've got what's going out, there's also about what else I want to pay for this month or I need to. Sometimes things like annual car insurance, because it's much cheaper to buy annual car insurance than pay it monthly, as you know, because they charge you interest, and I really don't like doing that. I don't like paying overdraft fees. But also this, so for example, if I'm thinking about, which I'm kind of umming and ahhing at the moment, am I doing Brighton Fringe this year, 2021? I was supposed to do it last year and of course it got cancelled. And equally, am I going to do Edinburgh 2021 this year? Again, everyone's looking at it going how doable it is. But there are certain fees that you always have to pay up front. So for example, if you're going to put a show into Edinburgh Fringe, if you do early bird, it's about 300 quid. If it's not early bird, it's nearer 400, I think. I always do early bird, so I don't waste money that way. Obviously, this year rules are slightly different. But normally when I go up to Edinburgh Fringe, I do 2 shows a day. So I'm not paying 300 quid, I'm paying 600 quid, and I'm often paying that way up front. So I'm always aware when I'm doing a budget for the month ahead that it's not just the basic things, but there's things I'm probably going to start prepaying for. When I went to Australia, I took both my Singing Psyche show and my Queen of the Fucking World show to Adelaide Fringe in 2019. The point was, 6 months before, I was having to do things like work out the venue, look at venue costs, also things like, before you can apply for a work visa for Australia, I had to get my insurance, not that bad, also book my flight. So literally back in September, October, 6 months before I'm arriving in Australia, I am booking flights to Australia. Obviously, so not cheap. And that kind of needs to be paid for now. And actually, it's interesting with that because, of course, then I did my shows in February and March, and Singing Psyche did really well. Queen either did really well or not. It was really up and down. It was very interesting in terms of the way that one sold. But I didn't actually get the money paid till the following, I want to say May. It took them, they're supposed to pay really quick, and they didn't. They took, 2 months. And of course, it's a large amount of money. And plus, I'd also had to be in Australia and live in Australia for 6 weeks, paying for my accommodation, all my travel, all my costs, my food, everything, and all my bills back in England while I'm gigging out in Australia. So I'm always aware as a creative that I need much more savings than if I was just a normal human, because there's always things I'm going to be needing to prepay. And I use saving pots for that. Which I will talk about saving pots in another episode. So this is not the world's longest episode. But all I can encourage you to do, as a simple start now, we are now early in the month or whenever you listen, look at what money you've got coming in and out. And of course, if you are freelance like me, at the moment I'm working for 3 or 4 different companies, thank God. But of course, they all pay on different schedules. And I do know I need to cover some really basic things like, rent being one of them, for example. Now, it can be really scary, particularly at the moment when, lots of us have lost the complete sources of income. But what I will tell you is, it is just facing the facts of where you are. A year ago, if I went, oh goodness, I've got too much money going out and not enough money coming in this month, I could just go and pick up an extra couple of gigs a week, because I certainly was gigging 5 nights a week. And luckily I've been working for one company where, because I MC and I do comedy and I even run things like quiz nights and everything, if I'm not doing acting work or acting role play work or finance work or my Singing Psyche and my Queen work, or I'm paying to sing or do voiceover and all the other ways that I earn income, which is many, many ways. But I had the ability to ring up a company and say, what you've got on this week, and I could pick up work, and they'd always pay me on a Friday, which was a godsend when you've got things going through. And as I said, I really do not like paying interest or overdraft fees. But just the fact of going, I've got a hole here, I've got some issues, I've got more money going out than I've got coming in. At least looking at it, you can start to make a plan. I guess I'm not getting any takeaway this week. That kind of stuff. It has massively helped support my creativity, and it gives me peace. Even when I know, oh God, I've got no money, I know I've got to find a way to spend less, sell something. And I have done this process over a decade of times where I had literally no money coming in to having loads. Because when you've got loads, then you can start apportioning better. And don't forget to put money away for tax, because you might go, I've got loads, but actually if you're paying tax, don't forget to put that away. So there we are. That's my thoughts on monthly budget. So you can find loads of budget sheets online. In theory, I could do some for you. I pop some comments down if people do want. Let me know on @MarishaT on Instagram or something. I can send you some over. But we all have individual things that we do. But have a go. Let me know how it went. But trust me, it really helps. And then I'll do an episode next week about saving pots and how I use saving pots to really promote my creativity. You're already getting an idea of what I'm doing, as you can imagine, with my, I know I'm going to have to spend loads of money months often before I have to get it back. But there we are. So there's my thought of the day. It's Thursday, February the 4th. Obviously, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're surviving this 3rd lockdown. And I know we're all just trying to get through it. We will get through this. But however scared you are financially, just know there are people around you. And I'm really sorry if you're going through, we're all going through differing levels of crazy. But I know how scary it is to have no money. I've certainly been there. But trust me, looking at what's going in and out, even if you also have to look at minimum payments on credit cards and all that stuff, which I will talk about in a separate episode, facing what is difficult, facing the obstacle and making some kind of plan, even if it's calling people saying, I can't pay you this month, what it does is it's going to make you feel more in control. And if you feel more in control, your brain works better and you'll sleep better, because your mental health is super important right now. So facing the facts And it's an amazing way to do it, because when you first start doing this kind of monthly budget and you start thinking about where last month you spent loads of money, well, my dining out budget, the amount of money I used to spend eating out once I started this process, massive. The drinking out carried on, but eating out, I'm like, not sure I need to do that as well. So it'll probably change your life, I reckon, in a better way. But anyway, there we are. So I will speak to you next week about saving pots, but have a go at making a budget for the next few weeks ahead. And at least you know where you're at. So much love. Be safe. Be well. I'm on @Marisha_T. I'm about to start doing some live singing psychic Instagrams. It was supposed to start this week, but this week has been mental. Don't ask me why. I think it's end of tax year, etc., etc. And I've just started some new role play acting stuff this week, which has been amazing. And so it's just been a bit of a mad week. But by the weekend, I'm going to start doing some live Instagram. So check me out on @Marisha_T. If you want to book the Singing Psychic to do a group reading for you with some friends over Zoom, or the Singing Psychic game show, let me know. And of course, my acting agent is Dulcie Houston at CCA Management. And I'm going to close this podcast off by playing a tune of mine, Vampire for Your Love, that I recorded a fair few years ago with a live studio band I put together for it. So if you can always find it's on all the normal places, but I thought, why not? So this is Vampire for Your Love, and have a great week. Bye. Of yearning are times of such sweet pleasure. You have got me so enchanted, I even dream of you. Can't see the way from here, there's no sun left. I'm surrounded with darkness where I fell into you. I'm a vampire for your love, just feed off your touch. Can I breathe without you? My heart doesn't beat without you. Of desire, tall, dark, satanic. You took me, you have burnt me, you've turned my blood to fire. Full for your love, full for your charm, addicted to your passion. I both live and die in your arms. I'm a vampire for your love, just feed off your touch. Cannot breathe without you. My
night has burnt me. You make me feel so weak. Burning with you, dying without you. Come fly home to me. I'm a vampire for your love. Just feed off your touch. Cannot breathe without you. My heart doesn't beat without you.